So, as the topic for the day is drafting of agreements in the media and entertainment industry. Now, when it comes to the media and entertainment industry, everybody's first impression is movies, film stars, movie stars, the whole glamour, glitz. It's fun. The whole charm about the industry is such that it attracts anybody, regardless of what profession you are from the mediocre everyday 9 to 5 job person to a business person to anybody out there. Everybody has this, when it comes to the media industry, a charm and attraction. Everybody likes to be known, like I met somebody, or I had some discussion with someone. It is just an attraction that is beautiful and beyond words. It is lovely out there. Now the only thing is, which is not known to the every person out there, is the behind the back work that happens in keeping this glitz and glamour up out there afloat. Now, keeping it afloat means keeping it running in such a way that it looks continuously effortless, and it looks that it's moving on smoothly, and there is no problems, there is no issues, everybody is happy, it's a good time, everybody is making money. So it looks like everybody is doing good in the business. It's a business, so it goes up, it goes down, it goes however it goes. It's a business. Now, coming down to the topic at hand, it is talking about the agreements happening in the media and entertainment industry. When there is work going on on a movie, like let's start with something very simple and basic everybody knows about, movies, films. When there is work going on a film, before the film is projected on the big screen in the theater, there is a lot of work that happens behind even the camera, behind where the camera is not even rolling. It happens behind, in the back end area, where all your agreements and all your legal work is drafted up and worked on. And then when the movie comes on floors, coming on floors means the camera is rolling and people are doing their jobs. Getting them people on the floor is the most important part, and that part in today's time is becoming more and more professional. People are being less on the part of unprofessional and more on the part of professional behavior, where they want people to work for the movie based on their expertise and based on all of their requirements and remuneration met. How do we confirm that a person who has said, okay, fine, sir, abhi aap kaam bol rahe, hum kaam karne ko taiyar hai? How do we confirm that? We confirm that with their signature on the dotted line. That dotted line has to be part of a contract which adheres to both the person who is proposing the movie and the person who is accepting the movie's work. Proposal of the movie comes from the production company. Now, the production company has in itself already a list of people who are engaged with them, or they hire new talent. All of this, if you look at it, sounds very nice. कि अरे writer को chance मिला, अरे नए director को chance मिला. Yes, chance mila. But on the dotted line, when before the signature happened, was that chance properly remunerated? Was the chance properly secured? Was the idea properly given their chance of protection? Was the idea given proper protection? Everything is important. All of those things are required and needed in doing all of a movie. Now, when it comes to an actors agreement includes a lot of detailing with regards to the work the actor is going to be. Is it going to be the lead role? Is it going to be the supporting cast? Is it going to be a cast that is going to it is going to be the female lead if she's going to be continuing in the entire movie? Is it going to be a cut off? How is the actor is going to be passing away in the movie or something like that? The role is technically short duration. The duration of the role is important. What is the duration of the role? All technicalities with regards to the shooting schedule, the remuneration, how much are they expected to be getting for the movie? Is it going to be a payment made in advance, then during the movie and after the shoot? Is it going to be something that they are going to be getting entirely in bulk at the start itself? So you have, when you come to an agreement, you have first the introduction of the agreement, you introduce the topic of the agreement, then you have the duration, the term of the character and the agreement. Then you have the remuneration, that is the consideration paid in exchange for work done. And then you have All of the other requirements with regards to if there is travel going to be entailed in, undertaken in the movie. So is the travel expense going to be paid out of pocket from the actor itself? Because there are movies with regards to the fact that the production does not have that much of capacity of travel. So the actor may have to undertake the payment of it, or it's going to be completely taken care by the production company because it's a big production house. So they can take care of all the payments, etc. So they are going to do that. With regards to who is going to be within the actors team, who is allowed on the actors team, is their family member also allowed, like you can have another family person along with the actor, or it's only going to be the team, which is hair, makeup, costume, stylist, etc., all of those people. So there is a lot that goes into an agreement with regards to only an actor, that is the artist agreement. And there are various actors on the movie set, so it's never one agreement, one standard for everybody. It's always a lot of different variations. See, ideally the introduction stays the same. That doesn't change much, because you have a movie, you have the actor, that stays almost similar. The technicalities, the terms and conditions of the agreement varies from the male lead to the female lead to the main villain, or you have other supporting casts. Who's the cast member? How are they going to be incorporated in the movie? All of those things come into it. So there is a lot that goes into a movie, and that is with regards only to the actors. Now, cut to the fact that the movie is the baby of the writer, the director. So when it comes to the writer, you need to see to it that the writer is protected. His idea is protected. So it has to be a copyright on the idea. The idea has to have a copyright. After the copyright, the idea, when it is given off to a production company, is it given completely as the copyright and everything to the production company, sold, and against that a remuneration given to the writer. So the remuneration for the idea given to the production company is supposed to be something that encapsulates the entire idea, and eventually if there is a profit also, how much roughly the profit, the writer can have a negotiation with the production company, or they can see to it the idea goes to the production company, the copyright stays with the writer. So whenever there is an income, when there is a profit earned on the idea, which is become eventually a movie, and then they make money out of it, so whatever profit is earned, that is shared between the writer and the production company. That also can be an agreement to that effect. So when it comes to the agreement with the writer and the production company, it is always supposed to be very clear. Either you're giving the complete idea to them, so whatever profit they earn later on from the movie made from the writing of the script is complete. Either the production company is completely, or it stays partly with the writer and the production company, or it stays completely with the writer and the production company gets a percentage probably. However, they have to decide all of those details, because the copyright is something that once given off cannot be returned back. It's like a gift. Once it's given, it never comes back. It stays with the person it is given to. So if the writer wants to retain the copyright of the movie, then it is difficult for the production company to take it off the writer, because at the end of the day, they have registered for it, they've got the license for it, they want to maintain it, and that cannot be taken away because it is their idea, it is their baby. Now coming to the production company, production house, the person producing or the producer, it can be various. It can be one person producer, it can be a company, it can be a an agency, how the whole thing. They, as a company, they have to have agreements with everybody. They have to have an agreement with the writer, like I just mentioned, the actors who are going to be hiring, then the director who will be directing, then comes to the director's agreement. Those agreements are also more about with regards to how the direction has to be done, the remuneration paid to the director for the work. Is the director going to get a cut out of the profits made from the movie? How is it going to work with that? There also there's a big meeting. Also when it comes to directing and the writing, if you see, there is a vision is going to be always an angular difference. One, the person sees it this way, the director sees it another way. If there is a possibility of dispute, which normally happens when it comes to artists' work, there is always a dispute happening. So when there is a possibility of a dispute, how do you address the dispute? How is the dispute going to be addressed in such a way that it does not affect the art that comes out of it, but it also satisfies the persons who are involved in the art? So there has to be a definite clause with regards to distressal. How do you address redressal of this distress or dispute? Because if there is no clause mentioning how do you address a dispute, then everything, the entire work just falls flat. So normally, considering in agreements and contracts, they have a dispute resolution clause which takes into a legal mode, which is either you go to court or you go to the appropriate tribunal as such, preferably in such cases, because these happen to be a serious, how do you say, strain on time. That's the word. They have a very strenuous strain of time, because once the idea comes up, within a year or two, they would like to develop the movie and then put it out there for the people out at large and get a profit out of it. So you can't expect that they will want to go into a legal dispute in court, which could take months to years, which will delay entire the procedure, the zest for making it. So the dispute resolution clause should be something that is short, something that people can prefer adhering to that, as opposed to the going to the legal court and or any tribunal and fighting it out over there. So preferably have an arbitration clause. See to it that the arbitration clause is in such a way that the parties will never have an issue adhering to it. And because an arbitration is such, it is based on the parties' availability. So they will keep themselves available and try to wrap it up as soon as possible. Apart from that, a mediation clause wherein in that 30 days or for a 60-day time period, within a short time period, a dispute has to be resolved. If the dispute is not resolved, then it is going to be an expense to all parties. So the fact that they have a dispute resolution of time limit is something that the parties have to be made known. Ki it cannot be beyond a 30-day or a 60-day time. You have to wrap it up. If the quicker you wrap it up, the better for everybody. So if there is an issue with regards to the vision or ideas, whatever dispute be it, they, before going to the legal and ruining it probably for everybody, that they resolve it in the time of 30 or 60 days. That should be there, being that. Second, the part is when the movie is such that it involves international travel. It is not a movie based only in India. It may go abroad. Then if there is a dispute abroad, how do you handle those disputes? So a location for the dispute is also most necessary, because if you don't have that key, regardless of wherever the dispute occurs, the location for the dispute resolution should be Mumbai, India, or Delhi, India, or wherever in India the parties are from. Like it could be a South movie produced half in South, half in Switzerland, and if there's a dispute in Switzerland, you're not going to run to the courts in Switzerland or have an arbitration in Switzerland with the entire team being shuffled up and down for everybody's discomfort. You have to have one place where the entire dispute resolution will be addressed, which will be most probably for the ease of everybody in India itself, or a particular kind of place where everybody is easily available and approachable, so you can manage the dispute. So dispute resolution clause and the jurisdiction for the dispute resolution, where is it going to be resolved, that is also necessary. Now, these terms being the legal terms of the agreement, it also you need another clause which is now for everybody's understanding, where it's actually force majeure, which thanks to COVID, everybody's taking it very seriously. I remember talking about it to a few clients of mine that let's have that clause, and everybody will like, "Nahi, aise thodi hota, act of God thodi itna kuch hoga, act of God is not so much." Now, after COVID, everybody's serious about it. Let's put force majeure, because once that clause comes into force, regardless of COVID or any other pandemic situation, you feel your rights are protected, because an performance of the agreement cannot happen due to a lockdown or due to any kind of governmental lockdown or pandemic situation. So it is not happening from either side of the contract, not the person proposing the movie, not the person participating in it. Since there is no performance happening from either side, nobody's in loss, nobody is in gain. So force majeure is something very important in these clauses, in these contracts. These three clauses are the most important clauses, apart from the copyright clause. Copyright clause, and with regards to the fact that you need an NDA clause. An NDA clause is non-disclosure agreement. Either you have the entire agreement made, the non-disclosure agreement made, where till the movie is produced out there to the people, nobody talks about it. Or you have it in the clause of each and every actor that is working with, that in their agreement also specifically confidentiality clause, that this work is confidential, you don't want to open your mouth. This, the biggest and the best world known example is the Marvel movies. No actor is allowed to open their mouth before or before the movie, during even the when they are trying to sell the movie, promotions of the movie. Yes, that's a word. Promotions of the movie, they are not talking about it. Everybody has to be zip tight-lipped and not give out anything. You have to watch it in the theaters, is the requirement, necessary expectations that all audience will be doing. And so nobody is allowed. So the NDA clause, you know, or NDA agreement in this case, the non-disclosure agreement in this case, this production company's case, is very, very strict. And the penalties of the NDA is high. It definitely has to be high, because it is scaring every actor to open their mouth. For that matter, that the recent movie, the lady who's playing Wanda, if you know, she was not even told the script. She was just given her parts and she had to act and imagine the entire script. When it comes out, she realizes, oh, this is how it's going to go. So you understand the level of their tight-lipped. They want to keep it only they want to protect it so much. So you know they're protecting the copyright. They're protecting the rights of the writer, the copyright. The idea is protected. You are also protecting the actor from infringing the NDA clause, because there is no infringement going to happen because the person is unaware of it. So the non-disclosure part is completely met, and the actor is performing as per the agreement. So in their agreement, they have definitely mentioned the part where the script may or may not be shown to them, regardless of which they have to be expected to show up to shoot, the days of the shoot, the numbers, the timing of the shoot, the schedule, everything will be mentioned. What are the terms that they are expected to adhere to are these terms, and they will be remunerated accordingly. Remuneration also has to be given as per what the workings of the actor is. So obviously there have been fights, there have been arguments, there have been court cases, there have been media wars with regards to the pay disparity of the female and the male lead. That going on. However, the remuneration part is available and known to the actors before they get on boards and on floor. That is the reason why there is a fight, because you can see it happen. It's all in the open. It's a contract, but it's all in the open with regards to that movie audience, the movie working audience that they are working with. Going on to the technician contracts also, the technician, the camera person, the cameraman also will have a contract wherein the specifics of their cameras will be required. What kind of cameras will they be needed to be working with? What kind of cameras will they be expected to be working with? You can't be working just with a handheld camera. You have to have a camera on a tram. So technician agreements, all those agreements are also there. When it comes to this side of the matter, so you all are clear with regards to the agreements made from the production company to the director, technicians, writer, actor, everybody. So every person has their own agreements. Now coming down to, once the movie is made, how do you distribute the movie? So you have an agreement with the distributor. Now the distributor is somebody who wants to make money out of their movie. They cannot be just getting the movie and be like, "Ha, theek hai, chalo, I'll be putting this up on my theater, or I'll be putting this up on the screen, and then we have sorted." No, you have the movie running with the distributor. So the distributor wants to make some money out of it. So how do you do that? That also, again, you have two ways of doing it. One, you give the movie to the distributor. The distributor pays you for the movie, and then whatever money is made from the profit of it, he keeps it. Or you all switch half and half. Like you'll get 30% of the profits or whatever the I get out of distributing the movie. So if you give it to Cinemax or PVR or any of these big multiplexes, so they will be making a lot of money out of the movies. Once the money comes in, they either give 30% of the income earned to the movie production house, or they give the production house a bulk amount, and whatever profits they earn from it, they keep that entirely. Many movies have done the same thing. They have done half and half. Like everybody knows about Bahubali and all these big movies. They made a lot of money. So when the distributor makes a lot of money, obviously everybody wants a little bit of it. So they must have had agreements with the production house that they will be giving some percentage of the income coming through to the production house. So when it comes to agreements in the entertainment industry, it comes down to how much work is supposed to happen with regards to a particular movie. That is, now we're looking at only movies. Now this is an entertainment business and media. So apart from these, you have a lot of IPR matters. IPR being intellectual property. They have such cases with regards to keeping and maintaining their intellectual property. The best example is when Lal Singh Chadda is the movie which has been made recently. It was made from Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump was a movie made many years back. I remember I was a child when it was made. I was in a teenage, I think. And now Lal Singh Chadda has come through. So it took them around some 8 to 9 years just to get the licenses for making the movie. Now those agreements are also the most important type of agreements which we don't exactly realize, and then we listen to a lot of somebody sued some actor, somebody sued some director for using their story and using their movie. Why they are suing? Because there is no license agreement. License agreement, when you say the word itself, license means to allow somebody to use their story or their idea and allow them to use it and make money out of it, profit out of it, and use the profit however they want to use it. Now for Lal Singh Chadda, which was Forrest Gump, they had to take license from the people who made the movie. So the production house, the writer, everybody over there, the copyrights had to be given in such a way that it comes down to India. The movie's idea and all the licenses comes down to India, is allowed that Indians with a caste which is entirely Indian, which a caste which is not connected in any manner whatsoever with the religious, because if you see the religion also over here is different. You have a Sikh person and you have a Christian person over here. So the ideology is also probably maybe different. The ideologies, many aspects of the movie, because that movie was made with the entire context of a population which is American, which is Christian, which is somebody they are comfortable with many aspects of the religion. So if you're going to make the same movie over here in India, maybe not everybody is comfortable with. People will be wondering, why are you making it with that context? So if you're switching the religion, then the religion ideology also changes. Will it hurt sentiments? Will it affect people's mindset? Will it affect people's thought processes with regards to the movie story? Will the movie's essence of the movie diminish because this one issue of the religion is highlighted? Many aspects come into it. So when you're looking about licenses from A movie to B movie, from A country to B country, all of these nitty-gritties have to be looked into. So when a license agreement comes through, license agreement looks into all of these small things. It could be small if you just say on the face of it, nobody, kisi ko farak nahi girega. But abadi is important. Population size, mass is important. We have a big population and we are offended with everything and anything on the face of this country. On the earth is another kahani. But right now in our country, we are affected, we are offended a lot. So will that offend us? Will that affect us? All of these things, it was not a small ordeal. It took like good 8-9 years. Even Amir Khan himself has mentioned it. So you have to look into all of these things when it comes to a movie coming in inspired by another movie. So licenses are important. When you have a book made into a movie, that is another license that is important. There are various type of licenses, and these are the few which are very much first of all off the top of my head, and second which is easily available to be noticeable. Like Kai Po Che was from a book to a movie. Then Three Idiots was a book from a movie. So all of these were made from a book to a movie. So when you have a book and you have a movie, the idea of the book was A idea. The idea of the movie is B. If you read the books and see the movie, many things don't match up. Many things are vastly different. Like Three Idiots feels like a vastly different movie from the book when you read the book. So the point over here is also you have taken the license, but you also have to mention over there that though the license of the book is taken, that they can make the book as into a movie, and also will be highlighting it in the credits that it is based on this book. The creative allowances to the director has to be also be given along with the license, because the writer, the script writer, they understand one thing: when a book is made into a movie, some things don't look good on a movie what looks good in a book, and imagination is much better than seeing it on screen. On screen you need a little bit more of drama, you need more of tadka, because it should feel like हाँ कुछ देख के मजा आ रहा है. Because in a book sometimes when you read through it look when you see it on the movie it feels very bland, like मजा नहीं आ रहा है, एकदम दही जैसा लग रहा है, vanilla types. You need something more. So to add that little bit more, that allowance should be given to the director or the writer or screenwriter, that they are okay with changing the narrative of the book a little bit, but sticking to the story and the main core and crux of the story. So those licenses needed to be required and mentioned about all of it. When it comes to all of the movies, we have spoken about them. We have spoken about licenses from movies to movies. Music was also the same thing. You also have the licenses for music. Then books to movies.
When any terms of the contract or agreement is breached, then is arbitration better than having a trial?
Yes, always better than having a trial. Arbitration, one, you limit the place where you want to have the arbitration. Like if the entire party is from Chennai, so have it in Chennai itself, or it is from Bombay, then have it in Bombay itself. It is better that way. You can limit the place. Second, you can also decide the times, so you can have an arbitration on a daily basis. Like within 2 weeks you can practically wrap it up. 2 weeks actually is too short, but within a span of say around 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months, you can wrap it up, like taking dates very close by, like on a weekend. Every weekend you all can sit down and work it on. It's on your own convenience. You don't have to wait for a court date which can come a month later, a week later, or like 2-3 months later. And if the judge is not exactly able to take up here the matter because there is a heavy board and the other people are in matters are more urgent than your matter, the possibility of getting a hearing is very difficult. However, in an arbitration, there's definite hearing happening because you have decided with the other party and the judge also where you all want to meet, what time, how long do you want to sit, have a arbitration meet for like 2 hours, how it's going to be, how long it's going to be, what is the stage. All the stage and all the documents and detailing and everything is recorded as per the legal procedure. However, it is at your own time and disposal, so it is quicker, faster, little expensive, but better, faster than take it longer.
Can we pick up one portion from one book and another from another book in without taking a license? Ma'am, is idea also protected under IPR?
Listen, idea could be protected under IPR provided it is your own idea and it is not something that can overlap another person's idea. So if you have two books ideas and you all want to overlap it into one movie, it becomes difficult to show that the entire thing is your idea, because the person who's written the book and it is already published, so means that person owns a copyright of it, definitely knows that you have used their idea, so it is infringing them. So they can sue you under the fact that you have infringed their copyright. They can sue you. Like if you've seen many of our music in India, we have realized is taken from a Korean music or Pakistani music, or you have a lot of other musicians out there who have made their music. A year or two later, we listen to the same sound, same music over here in India with our Indian singers singing on the same tune. We realize there is the similarity over there. They also realize there is a similarity. Though it could be used in a movie, it's one particular song in a movie, we don't feel too much about it. But the person who has made it, created it, they feel offended because there was no license taken and their music is already taken and it is being used in a particular movie. So they have sued India. So many cases have come of Pritham being sued left, right, and center for having taken music from other countries and other musicians and singers. So that is crime. That is a crime under the copyrights protection, because the copyright protection is not something that is only country limited. You can take a global copyright also. So you're protected globally. So anybody abroad also using your music, you can sue them for having taken any inspiration from your music. Same thing with regards to books. You can have a copyright protection globally. So anybody wants to use your idea of the book, they have to take a license from you. Even if the idea is shared with another book's idea, still a license has to be taken because you've taken some part of it. That's why.
participant is asking, he is a law graduate. If I wish to practice in the entertainment industry, how should I go about it?
Practicing in the entertainment industry, join law firms that deal with media law. There are many law firms in town that deal with media law. So you can directly approach them, put in your resume, start with an internship, preferably start with an internship, see how it is. Do you like the run? If you like the run, continue with it. Ask them, hopefully you like the work, then you will show enough zest that they absorb you as a lawyer. Start with a law firm. When you start with a law firm, then you can from there switch into, if you want to join a production house, in-house legal team, or do you want to independently practice and be a legal person for many various. Nayak in town is a lawyer for many of these production houses. I can say for that one thing. Because you see it in the movies also, they show the legal. If you see movies credits, they show the legal, who is the legal law firm and who is the legal person. So wahan pe, if you see the law firm, join them. Apply as an intern. If you can't apply as a, if you're just recently graduated, then great, you can apply as a proper job. If you're still studying law, just apply as a legal intern. And once you get the hang of it, you can get them, like, once you're graduated with your license in hand, they can absorb you as an employee.
Nowadays, writers put out a lot of their write-ups on social media. How do they protect or prevent copying of their writings? Any safeguards you can suggest, if not total protection?
See, if you have put it out on social media without a copyright in protecting your words, then safeguarding it is very difficult. Best example is Jay Shetty. Oh my God, that guy is Indian. That guy makes a lot of money out of using everybody else's words. If you don't believe me, there are multiple videos on the internet where people are not happy with Jay Shetty plagiarizing their quotes or quotes of other people who are famous and they follow. So yes, it's an unfortunate fact about, like, all the good things that Indians do, you have the sad part also. So yes, do not plagiarize other people's quotes. If you have protected your quote coming out on social media will always have your name. If you have not protected, there is no copyright for your quote or your poem or whatever your idea, then yes, it can be used multiple times. That you cannot protect. So you have to protect it with a copyright, because many quotes are taken from a person's book, a person's poem, a person's writing thoughts. So when the person is already copyright protected it, so if the quote is used anywhere, their name has to be shown. It has to be credited. You cannot not credit that person. So that's how
Okay.
you can protect. I hope it answers your question.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one participant is asking, any case on media and entertainment to read on directions mentioned by Supreme Court?
In many cases, I cannot remember anything on the top of my head, but there's so many on Supreme Court cases. Google it, you will get so many. Like, that's how we survive. We keep Googling. That's how we work this regime of media law. And you keep Googling cases and you will keep getting them.
Are e-contracts a safe or a good options in this field over written agreements?
Okay, e-contract is the new thing coming in. Oh God, there's so many people coming up with those ideas. I had seminars where I sat down through them also. Yes, the e-contract is something that they are looking into accepting as much to be a illegal document as the written agreement document that we used to sign. So nowadays you get those e-signatures which you can register on these e-government portal websites, where your signature is registered. So the moment you have signed, it shows your name, your timing when you signed it, and the document is protected. It becomes into a PDF the moment you sign it. So yes, those e-agreements are nowadays considered to be legal. However, it is going to take time to catch up because not everybody is available with the infrastructure of technology and laptops and to sign. However, but yes, they are as legal as and as protected as much as the in-person agreement that we sign.
What information should be included in a contract with a service provider like cable TV networks and etc.?
Service provider agreements mention majorly what kind of services are they giving you. First of all, if it is, let's example take for example Tata Sky ka agreement is, suppose your service provider here. So who are you? Like, are you the person receiving the service? Tata Sky say. So your agreement with Tata Sky will be, I am taking your services. Against the services I need, so the channels are these channels that I'm taking. Anna, that is what I'm looking for. And against this, I'm going to be giving you a remuneration as per your charges. Itna itna. That is if you're a consumer. But if there is another aspect to it, can you be a little bit more detailed in exactly service provider agreement, in the sense what are you going to be the consumer? Are you dealing with them as a distributor? How is it going to be?
I think ma'am, distributor. He's asking for
Is-
distributor.
Achha, if you want to distribute that means you're taking up a franchisee with them. Then that will be a franchisee agreement. You will have or channel partner agreement. Those channel partner agreements and or franchisee agreements mention your area. First of all, like suppose if you are from Bombay. So in Bombay also there are many areas. There's North Bombay, South Bombay, East, West. You have Kalyan, Ghatkopar, all of those areas. So are you a distributor for a specific area, say Andheri or something? Or are you a distributor for a larger, like an entire district, like the entire district of Thane? You're going to be a distributor for them. So this geography has to be defined. Against the geography, how are you going to be doing the connections? The company is going to be providing you the this infrastructure, which is the dish antennas and all those connections. Are you going to be hiring employees based on the fact that another company is going to be paying you a particular chunk of money for employees or technicians for putting them up for all the coming up customers? Or is the company going to have its own set of technicians who are going to be made available, and you just have to see to it that you give them the details of the customer and where the connections have to be made, all of those details. The money coming through, how is it going to be divided with the company and you? Because obviously you need to be making money also. You cannot be a channel partner without making money. So you need to be making money off the product. So from the product, what the money comes in per month also, how is it going to be divided, on what percentage basis? That has to be decided. Employees decided term of the agreement. Obviously, how long is it going to be? An agreement of 5 years? Are you a channel partner or a franchisee for, I don't know, 5 years, 3 years? Those terms of the agreement. Dispute obviously has to be mentioned. Dispute. If there is a dispute legally, how do you all address that dispute? Yeah, pretty much that much. But those terms are more important about employee, the remuneration. Are you paying salary from your pocket? How, if or the company is going to see to it that you are paying that also, you'll have to look into it. Yeah, it pretty much covers all of those things. Yeah.
Ma'am, any concluding remarks from your end?
All I can say is media, as much as glamorous it looks, trust me, the work behind it is so much. वो glamour निकल जाता है. So yes, when you're working, just think about the work, and if you love contracts as much as I do, so keep at it. वो ही glamour बन जाएगा. That itself will be your glamour.